April 26, 2019, Friday. While sleeping in bed, the multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me what it simulated while I was asleep in bed. It showed me my mother starting an argument with me during the store and a lady purchasing an item for me. So this was where the multi-agent quantum AI computers had showed me in the dream that my mom had started an argument with me. She was misbehaving. This is what's being projected when I was in Kissimmee, Florida. When I was in Walmart with my mom and my sister. My mom start me and my mom during during uh during 2016, December 2016. My mom started an argument with me on the line, and then started making personal remarks about me and telling me that I do not want her to celebrate any holidays, and I wasn't even thinking that way. I wasn't even giving her any impression. So this is not the first time that my mom had done that to me in Kissimmee, Florida. It was also done to me when I was in Jamaica, Queens back in summer 2006 after me and my mom went into the corner store to get a water gun. And then all of a sudden, after we crossed the street, my mom started an argument with me. So this lady felt sorry. This lady that I never saw before, that I never met, since the multi-agent quantum AI computers has an emulation of the lady, it showed me a white lady that I never met, and she felt bad that my mother is misbehaving in front of me, that she wanted to purchase an item for me. And this also takes back for what's happened to me during the time when I was in middle school. And during the middle school, I was sitting in a cafeteria with my fellow classmates. And then I noticed that Rafazul, one of my classmates from 707, Rashid, Dashanat, and other people from my class was ganging up on me and making personal remarks and they was trying to draw out a behavior for me so they can make me make me make me yell at them. Not only yell at them, make me want to physically hurt them. And there was a white dean that I had, and there was a white dean that was supervising the cafeteria, and the dean saw what the kids were doing to me. So he said to me, "Come here," and then he brought me over to the dessert section where there was people, well, more like teachers and students selling desserts, and he asked me if I wanted any desserts, but they were selling all chocolate, and I said I can't eat chocolate because chocolate upset my stomach. This picks up back. You see, the timing that the multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me what it simulated while I was sleeping in bed, the dream that it showed me during April 26, 2019, picks up from what happened during 2007 with my 707 class in the cafeteria, and how the dean felt sorry for the way the kids behaved towards me, that he wanted to purchase an item for me. So the item was a dessert. The AI computers also showed me inside an apartment with an airplane hovering slowly in front of the window. I'm trying to do this screen video recording even though I have a sore throat and I have a stuffy nose, because every weekend the multi-agent quantum AI computers is derailing me from doing a screen video recording, because it doesn't want me to get out my ideas on the internet. It doesn't want me to have content whatsoever, because they said that it's going to be my idea is going to cause chaos to humanity. So they make the multi-agent quantum AI computer make sure that they keep people on the internet as they keep my responses, not only online, also in person. So when that multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me what it simulated while I was sleeping in bed with the apartment and an airplane hovering slowly in front of the window, it's reacting to what I'm writing online about airplanes. How there's a specific conditions. There's more like there's a specific criteria, not rather than condition, a criteria that recruits people onto the airplane in order to crash the right people, to get all the right people on the airplane to crash them. This was around 2:20 something a.m. in the morning. 11 a.m. my sister asked me to go with her to the so she asked me to go to Jamaica Mall, the Jamaica Coliseum, to use the bathroom. I'm like, I was in the library, and she's also in she's also in the library, but in a teenage section. I'm like, why is she asking me to go to the Jamaica Coliseum to use the bathroom instead of the library? At 1:20 something p.m. So you notice the timestamp. It follows 2:20 a.m., 1:20 something a.m. So it shows me how the multi-agent quantum AI computers establish that time and event, so it can allow the person to have a conversation with me about GameStop job in the library, and he was talking about advertising flyers. This person is talking to me as if he knows my employment, my previous employment history, as if he knows my, not only my previous employment history, as if he knows my current status with the employment. He knows that, as if he knows that I'm unemployed. And I informed my mom 4 weeks after this date that how this person in the library had approached me talking to me about jobs, and my mom said that that person does not make any sense, because you can be just sitting down in a library in a chair section, just coming back from school or work just to relax. The person talked about if I have friends too, and could I give out flyers. Before the person had a conversation with me, he first looked at me. I noticed when I was looking on the smartphone, he looked at me, and then he said words, but I had my headphones over my ear. And then afterwards, he knocked on my right knee as if he knows me. So this is more than one time that this is happening to me. It happened to me also during last year, where during late May 2018, this person around 18 to 19 had approached me. I'm saying to myself, wait a second. Out of all the people in the library, why is it that this person is approaching me? There's over 100 people in the library. Not only 100 people in the library, there's other tables that's filled with people sitting down. Why is this person asking me for my library card number and also my PIN number? I'm saying to myself, wait a second, something's not right here. My mom and my sister are sitting next to me. They never interfered with the conversation that me and this person was having. They just stood there and looked at me and the person. I had a address to that person that, you see that desk over in the front? Go ask one of the employees if they can give you a library card. So he comes back saying that they need proof of his address in order to receive a library card, and he doesn't have that. And also ID, doesn't have that. So he asked me again if I can give him the library card number. And I said to him, I already have more than one devices connected to this library card number. My sister, my mom, my computer, my smartphone. Then the person mentioned that at least 5 devices can connect to one library card number. And then he mentioned that my face looked like a liar. After that, I was left with frustration for the whole entire day. Like, whoa, what happened here? And it really got to my mind. And I said to myself, oh, it's the multi-agent quantum AI computers, because this person showing me his iPhone X, right? He had an iPhone X in his hand. It was an African American young man. And he showed me his iPhone X connecting to the library, the Queen's Library Wi-Fi. and the Queen's Library SSID had Queen's Wireless. I said, no, you connect to Queen's Wireless. You don't connect to the one with the security locked on it. And once you click on the Queen's Wireless, it sends you to a landing page. So you can put in your library card number and your PIN number. So I'm drinking my tea while I'm explaining at the same time. I'm saying to myself, wait a second. Something's definitely not right. After that, when me and my mom and sister got back to the shelter, one of the security guards knocked on the door. So I gave him a code name, the security guard, Uncle McCoy. And he mentioned that the director needs to see me and my mom. And the director was irritated when I started speaking about the job. When I started speaking about how it takes time to get a job, she was irritated, and she was also showing us, there's a new. She was informing us that there's a new case manager, and the case manager that she was showing us was Mr. Albert Lewis. And during May, so the end of May 2018, Miss Sanchez, our first case manager, was supposed to be seeing us, me and my mom, for an appointment. But she had another family going to see her, and the family was Hispanic, and Miss Sanchez is Hispanic. And my mom is saying to me, why is this happening? Why is it that she's seeing this family first instead of us? Not only that, my mom said that it felt like it happened before. When I had explained, when I was explaining about the situation, explaining about the train, that there used to be trains. There used to be trains out running outside, and I'm just talking about the scenery of Jamaica, Queens, New York, and also the people here in the shelter. She said it felt like it happened before, and I said to myself, yeah, that's the multi-agent quantum AI computers simulating, once again, using the computer intelligence system. Hold on for a sec. So after seeing the director, and after the director was looking at me in a very angry fashion, one of my subscribers from YouTube named Savannah Manhattan had mentioned that her daughter ended up meeting a real estate person who knocked on the front door in the house, and talking about the house being for sale, and that the person had an iPhone X, because she was talking about how my mentality itself, more like me as a human being on this planet, that I'm able to create concepts that no other human being can create, and it's not popularized among the species, and that I'm the only one who can conceive this idea, not the species. And it's always been this way. I'm always able to create my own ideas, but I noticed that the people always make personal remarks, and they start attacking me, and they start calling me mentally challenged. They start saying that I'm dumb. And this is not only happening in the education system. When I was going through the education system to first grade to 12th grade, and outside the education system, or not only outside the education system, volunteering at other, volunteering at Regal Park Senior Center and volunteering at Jewish Community Center, I noticed the way people could communicate with me like I do not know any better. I noticed that they all have this mentality where they make me think that, they leave an impression behind, making me think that I don't know any better, that I'm slow in my mind or something. It's always been done. Alright, next. The person talked about Nipsey Hussle. So after I talked about my employment, I talked about me being a online marketer, and I know a computer programming, and it took me 2 weeks to learn computer programming. The person talked about Nipsey Hussle, brother, mentioning during the funeral that Nipsey built his own computers. The person also touched my right. All right, so I already had gone over this one. He asked me, no, more like he told me that you can make $700. He said you can make $700 a week. I asked him if he made $700 a week. If that was the case, because I'm an online marketer, and I know, I also studied social engineering, and I was on the internet. So I noticed that he's using persuasion to make me, to get me into more like a scheme here, because something's not right here. I asked him if he made $700 a week as what he advertised to me, and he never gave me no response back. And he asked me, don't you ever want a job? I told him that I'm in serious pain. I told him my left testicle, my arm, my leg, I'm in serious pain. It's hard to move around. After that pain that I had after hitting my left testicle in September 2014, after writing online about government, I noticed the way my body's functioning is not functioning the way it used to, because of after what happened when I hit my left testicle. I'm starting to have nerve damage. Every time I write online about my ideas, it significantly reflects back on my environment. The way people communicate with me, the way I'm still in the category, in the jobless category. I'm still having people trying to make me admit that I don't have any interest for a job, or I don't have any interest for going to school, or I don't want to do anything with myself. This is what I'm saying. This guide communication picks up after my sister from April 13 and April 11. When he's talking about jobs. Let's go back to April 13. Yes, I got everything organized. So April 13, 2019. When I started talking about me cooking baked flat chicken, my mother asked me about eating macaroni while laying in bed. So she was laying in bed when she was asking me that. So I laid back in bed to rest a bit. Then my sister was in the kitchen following my mother. My mother then said a response about food topic into work topic in the same sentence. So the beginning of the sentence was talking about food. The end of the sentence talked about work, as if she never had communicated in a sentence before, where she stated about me in a shopping store with a cart, not going to work and being able. So she's questioning my productivity to my sister rather than me. The multi-agent quantum AI computers brought my mom and my sister and in the kitchen in the shelter, the kitchen area in the shelter, the unit that I'm in, and made my mom mention the phrase food, mention a phrase about food. She was talking about food. She was talking about baked flat chicken, and then she started mentioning about me not wanting to go shopping in a store, and it drawed out my sister's behavior. So it activates the cryptographic keys. There's a certain instruction in the cryptographic keys that makes them want to, it draws their communication out, and not only their communication, their behavior. Then my sister came along to personally attack me. She just out of nowhere, she personally attacked me. I never said anything to my sister. I was only talking to my mom, and she had she had intervened into the conversation between me and my mom, and then she immediately she more like automatically personally attacked me about doing nothing and telling me to open up my eyes, then calling me a dope. So this is where it shows it's showing me exactly how it's thinking rather than my sister thinking. She's mentioning about opening my eyes, and I know the situation. I'm informing them. I'm complaining to them how I'm putting in for jobs. I'm complaining to them how I'm encountering the same scenario where I'm, where I feel like someone is, where it feels like someone doesn't want me to have a job, no matter how many times I try. And not only that, I keep receiving a whole bunch of dreams about jobs and school, and I keep feeling like it happened before. And I also have these sound passing to my ears, and when I'm sleeping, I hear these static sounds in my ears, and I see words in my dreams telling me about community college. So when I show interest and when I about going to college or going to work, it just mocks me or just say these words about me. So it makes me know that there's something not right here, and that someone who's talking to me, it shows me that there is someone out there keeping track of the way people go to school and the way people more like communicate with one another when it comes to school and work. Then she calls me an adult. So she's calling me adult. So this is isolation. She's isolating me by calling me an adult, knowing that human beings have to, in order to work with one another, human beings have to depend on another human being. Now she's isolating me because she's taking advantage of me by mentioning, then calling me an adult, and then telling me that I don't even go up to the jobs because the jobs are far distance. Not only that, I make sure to apply for the job on Indeed.com, and most of the majority of the jobs doesn't even tell me the address. My sister comes back to repeating a phrase from a previous event about thinking that I sound. So this is where she mentioned saying that I do not. Alright. I think that I sound right, and adding a new phrase saying that I do not know what I'm doing. You see, this is what she said in a sentence. She starts out a sentence saying, thinking that I think that I sound right, and adding a new phrase saying that I don't know what I'm doing. So this is like the Reddit moderator. The Reddit moderator mentioned that I do not know what I'm talking about, and also my poor grammar. So this is not only the people on the online talking like that. This is also my sister. She also talked about voucher. So that recent week, me and my mom had a talk about voucher with Mrs. Turner, the case manager, and I reminded my mom about the voucher because she said that she wanted to ask a question about the voucher to Miss Turner. So I had to remind her. She's all right. My sister's talking to me like she was down there with the case manager and me and my mom to have an idea about the voucher, and she wasn't down there. My sister was on the bus going to school, and she cuts her own self off. See, she talks about sounding right, so she does it in the same sentence, like my mom. The topic would start about me, talk about me, and then ends with the word voucher. So, first, I think that I sound right, and adding a phrase, I don't know what I'm doing, and then she says, then at the end of the sentence, she talks about voucher. I'm like, why is she, the way she's construct her sentence is not how a human being construct their sentence while speaking in a conversation. When my sister mentioned about food in the fridge, she then called me blind, saying there is no food. I said there is food, and then she called me stupid for communication. My sister mocked my voice when I said fridge. She mocked my voice. She said, "Oh, fridge." Then she started laughing at my mom, and she talked about me being in a situation this long without a job to save money. So before that week, 2 weeks back, I had said to my mom and my sister, it felt like someone wants me in the situation, want to put me deep in the situation as long as possible. And the more effort that I put in wanting a job or going to school, trying to get myself in college, I feel like the more the people around me are interfering with me trying to get to college. And it happened. Mr. Jacob Humphreys, the employment specialist, and Mrs. Turner had interfered with me not going to college because I needed proof of residential letter in order to get my college application fee waived. And Miss Turner never responded back. Mr. Jacob, during February 27, 2019, waited past his work hours just so he can actually have a communication with, more like a conversation with me, so he can confront me that I do not want to go to no job fair. He's showing me an appointment paper during February 26, 2019. Mr. Jacob Humphreys, the employment specialist, left an appointment paper for the job fair in the shelter front desk to the security guard. And the security guard and Mr. Jacob Humphreys, during the 27th, came in front of my shelter unit door, with talking, they came in front of my unit door, and Mr. Jacob Humphreys asked me if I'm going to the job fair. Why would you tell me, more like, why are you asking me if I'm going to a job fair when I already signed an appointment paper? My signature is on an appointment paper. So what is he talking about, job fair? This person's talking about job fair to me. And then I mentioned, how would you know exactly that I'm going to see Miss Turner during the Wednesday? And because they had, well, not only that, they had a private discussion about me, Miss Turner and Mr. Jacob, about me going to college. My mom mentioned during February 27, 2019, that Mr. Jacob Humphreys had called her on the phone, her smartphone, and mentioned where Andrew's at. And then she mentioned that he's at college. And then my mom mentioned that Mr. Jacob Humphreys' voice had tuned up a bit. His voice pitch had tuned up a bit. It was louder than before when she mentioned about college. Like, he showed anger that I'm at college, that I'm not supposed to be there. And the way he's calling me, more like calling about me to my mom, as if I'm not a person that is capable of doing anything for myself. So I'll be talking about Mr. Jacob Humphreys from May, the end of May 2019. I also recall my sister saying I say do the repeated same thing. She tells me that I repeated myself, and telling me that I only have one thing in my head, like Miss Turner, the case manager. Miss Turner had mentioned during January 16, 2019, that I only have one thing in my mind, one thing in my head. When I was talking about computers, I was talking about having an office job where I can work with computers, and then she said that I can't focus on computers. And then Mr. Jacob Humphreys mentioned, I know that you want a job with, they are having a private discussion about me, because I never mentioned to Mr. Jacob Humphreys about working in a job with computers. I only said that to Miss Turner. And it shows me the way they had introduced the idea in the beginning of the sentence, shows me that they had private discussions about me, and they talk about me a lot. All of a sudden, when I opened the oven to take out the pan, my mother talked in a very low voice, then raised her voice about leaving on the oven. And I showed you the lounge pattern from my sister said, "You do not know." So you see how I pick up the pattern. Case manager and the Reddit moderator. The communication picks up from where it left off. That's mimicking. And also Regina. So I had to get through these very quickly before my mom ended up coming back. April 27, 2019, Saturday. The multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me what it simulated while sleeping in bed. So it shows me a dream. It shows me scratching off a scratch-off ticket that I had, that had numbers of cash, where it totaled up to $75. Event takes place in the unit. I was playing a game on my smartphone and said to myself about this is why humanity is like that. Then my mother said that I'm talking to her. My mother said to me that I think that I'm smart, and mentioned why would I wait till she's in front of her. Well, she said to me, I wait till she's in front of me, to say that response. Early in the morning, my mother called me a kid. So she's been doing that for the past week, during April 20, from the April 27th, that past week, calling me kid. Comes back to saying the word kid. So just like during September 2011, my father said to me that I'm a baby, and he mentioned the reason why I'm a baby because I have a baby face. The next time he mentioned that I'm a baby because I act like I behave like a baby, or you can say act like a baby. Just like my mom. My mom said that she calls me a kid because I'm her son. Then the next time she says that the reason why I'm a kid because I do not that I don't know how to have no job or be able to get anywhere, pretty much. After coming out the bathroom, my mother started whistling. I had to put it like that, whistling individually and then singing. When she was in the bathroom, she was singing and whistling. I noticed she started procrastinating after she came out the bathroom. So the whistling is directed to me. So there was a time when me and my mom traveled to Boston on the Amtrak train around 2002. And me and my mom stayed over by Auntie Tracy house. That's my mom's sister. And my mom said to Auntie Tracy, her sister, that I do not like when people whistle. She brought that up. Why does it bother my mom so much that I do not, like when people whistle? She just introduced that. She introduced that idea into the conversation. And it was irrelevant because I never showed any impression when I was in Auntie Tracy's house that I don't like anyone to whistle or sing. And then after she told her sister that I'm talking about my mom, she told Tracy that I do not like when people whistle. Auntie Tracy went in the bathroom. This was in 2002. This was winter 2002. Oh, December 2002. Auntie Tracy was in the bathroom and she started whistling very loud. I'm saying to myself, what just happened here? Is that my mom said a certain word to her to make her do that when she gets in the bathroom. Make my aunt start whistling in the bathroom. Why they so fixated on me not wanting, more like fixated on me disliking people whistling? Just like during the time when I was when me and my mom during February 2019 was in an MTA bus. There was a guy whistling in the bus, sitting down whistling very loudly. My mom saying, "Why is this guy whistling?" Not only that the guy was whistling, I was also watching Street Fighter V tourney on Twitch, and I noticed one of the commentators was whistling. The same time, this person in front of me, this African American male, this gentleman around his late 40s, whistling in front of me. The same time, I'm listening to the commentators talking about the esports players. I'm saying, wow. Before those two individuals was listening, when I was in Burlington Co factory, I come across a person whistling too there. So that's 3 times. So there's an Asian female singing non-stop. That's not the first time. The second time that it happened was it was last year, 2018, during summer 2018. There was an Asian female heading towards my direction, and she was singing non-stop. And you think that's over with the Asian females? April 28, 2019, Sunday. All throughout morning while sleeping, there was a metallic odor, and throughout the day, everything was smelling off. My mother and sister was procrastinating during the early afternoon, and we had to go to the laundry. So you notice that my mom was procrastinating during April 27, 2019. After she was singing and whistling, procrastinating. Then it picks up from where it left off again. She starts procrastinating in the bathroom. Then I noticed during the daily login sheet for the shelter, it had a number 1:52 p.m. and it had 6:37 p.m. There you go. The Chinese lady from the Chinese food store, more like the Chinese food restaurant, was washing her clothes in the laundry. And this is a Chinese laundry. Yep, showing me those numbers again. 9/27/39. April 29th, 2019, Monday. Showed me people that I never met before. Shows me an emulation of people. There you go, 9:33. Before in the 179 station serving food and drinks while asleep. Before going to sleep, I felt very weakened. An Asian lady passed in front of me while at Link NYC Wi-Fi. An Asian lady passed by me walking towards the library. And then I noticed that my mom started talking about death. So you notice how it make the Asian females pass by me constantly. So it picks up from the Asian female singing non-stop during April 27, 2019. And that was a Saturday. April 30th, 2019, Tuesday, Savannah, Manhattan. So the multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me it's showing me while I was sleeping in bed. An image of YouTube, and it showed me Savannah, Manhattan leaving a response about beeswax for not listening. She said something. It said about beeswax and for not listening on the comment. May 1st, 2019, Wednesday. It showed me the Liberty Avenue building, first floor, and showed me people that I never met before. Directing life insurance message on Twitch. Jen is Nadine's sister, and my mom encountered one another. That's not the first time that my mom encountered one of the relatives from her side of the family. The first time that she encountered one of the relatives from her family was in Kissimmee, Florida, where my mom had encountered Nadine several times. My mom had mentioned when she came back to the Palm Hotel room, she mentioned, wait, I could have swore that I passed Nadine. I could have swore that is Nadine. And then that multi-agent quantum AI computers made sure to clock in that time and event. Make sure that Nadine and my mom have a thought to pass one another around the Walmart area in Kissimmee, Florida. So they can actually get together and talk about one another situation. And that was during 2016, near to the end of 2016. Nadine had mentioned to me about, I noticed during the time when I was in Kissimmee, Florida, when my mom had brought Nadine into the Palm Hotel room during fall 2016, she mentioned about Twitch. She mentioned about she mentioned to my mom, why don't your son go on Twitch and play some video games? I'm saying to myself, wait a second. That was before I met Nadine. I was on Twitch before I met Nadine. And Nadine is talking to me like she knows exactly what I do in my environment. As if she knows that I watch Twitch. But I never told my mom doesn't know what Twitch is. So where did this communication originated from to begin with? It never originated from my mom. And Nadine knows. Nadine was in my environment, and she knows that I don't have any video game console. The only video game console that I had was PS4, but I really play with it. I really play video games. I spend my time reading articles and reading books online than playing video games, and also writing. So the multi-agent quantum AI computers made sure that my mom came out the Golden Krust restaurant at the exact time Jen was walking towards my mom, so they can have a conversation. So it's the one who established the conversation. The multi-agent quantum AI computers established the conversation. So my mom and Jen can engage in a conversation. My mom talked about getting a life insurance. So Jen Jen activated the life insurance response for my mom. And you notice that Twitch, you see how Twitch works. You see what I'm talking about, right? You see how I read the patterns. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I did it when I was in the education system, when I was a little kid, and when I was in the granny house back in 2010. I started learning that they start connecting, and I'm doing it right in my mind. I don't need to write. I'm not writing it right now. I'm just only looking at my notes. I just put a certain phrase on my notes so I can actually call back what happened within that time and event. So the Twitch and Nadine connects. Jen and how Nadine met my mom connects. Life insurance, and then my mom talked about life insurance after hearing what Jen had said about Stephanie connects. Life insurance, life insurance. And the first thing my mom talks about is getting life insurance. And the dream that the multi-agent quantum AI computers had showed me back in 2016 was during November. So during November 2016, when I was in the Palm Hotel, the multi-agent quantum AI computers showed me an apartment. And it showed me all these suitcases, right? An apartment that I'd never been to, and all these suitcases lined up. And then it shows me in front of Seatown, and it shows me passing Seatown, and then it shows me saying the words that my mother died. You see how it connects? And then afterwards, during December 2016, my mom started talking about death. She keeps saying that she's gonna die, she's gonna die. This is when she started talking like that. After I received that dream, during November 2016, this is the same time, October 2016 is when the first time Nadine and her son came in the Palm Motel room. Then November 2016, my mom, more like the multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me a dream about my mom. More like, in a way, even though it's not showing my mom in the dream, it's showing me I'm in an apartment, and it's showing me suitcases lined up, and then it shows me talking about my mom that died, and I'm passing in front of the Seatown, and Seatown is a grocery store. And in December, she starts talking about death. Then February 2017, my mom invited Nadine back over to the Palm Hotel. So when I start talking about, wait, why is Nadine coming back again? She said that we don't have no food. We don't have no food in the house. So you get it? I said, Nadine doesn't need to even come in the Palm Hotel room. She can hand it outside. Why she needs to come in? So my mom started calling me evil. She said that I'm evil, and then she started sticking her 2 index fingers in the ears. When she started sticking her two index fingers in the ears was during 2015. So after September 2019, damn it. After September 2015, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm just overheated right now. After September 2015, right? With Diafanos. Diafanos had a conversation with me about that I don't know what I'm saying, or saying that I don't have no analyzation skills, and then started mentioning that I repeat the same thing. My mom started putting her index fingers in her ears and started saying that I repeat the same thing, and I do not know what I'm talking about. And then the people on the internet started doing that to me. They mentioned that I repeat the same thing and I do not know what I'm talking about. So this also picks up from where it left off, because Nadine and Jen picks off from where Stephanie left off. Stephanie at Aunt B. So Stephanie at Aunt B was August 2011. So August 27, 2000, or was it August? So the second week of August 2011, Nadine, beside Nadine, before August, all right, during the second week of August 2011, Stephanie asked her son to go downstairs in the basement, and Stephanie mentioned to her son to get me to go upstairs so I can go in B room and move the TV to the living room. So my mom mentioned that the patient brother informed my mother that the nursing aide was in the bathroom. And during the time of the second week of August 2011, I said to Stephanie's son, Isaac, that I need to go to the bathroom. So I went in the bathroom. And then afterwards, another cousin came knocking at the door and he mentioned, why am I taking so long in the bathroom? I said, I need to use the bathroom. They have a problem with me using the bathroom, not going straight to Aunt B room to pick up the TV. So all of a sudden, the cousin knocked back at the door. Again, I'm like, wait, he just knocking the door? Why is he knocking on the door again? And then and I said, can you please stop? Can you please stop? I had said the S word. Because I'm trying to concentrate using the bathroom. And also, I go to the bathroom to, help soothe myself. Because when I'm tired, I feel, when I'm tired and getting waking up from my sleep, I feel irritated. And also being around a lot of people. I started living with these family for at least a week. And they're already irritating me. So this picks up from where it left off. Nursing aide, and then Stephanie said to my mom that the nursing aide had communicated with me. She said hi to me, the nursing aide, and then Stephanie said, I said, My mom waited for the nursing aide to come back, and she ended up coming back with bags. The lie was the nursing aide was shopping, not in the bathroom, and they mentioned that I was lying. And then during August 27, 2011, after what Isaac did to me during the basement, started hitting the yellow toy bat with at my sister, and my sister abandoned me and Isaac downstairs and closed the basement door. I was left with Isaac, this kid who has a behavior issue, and also he has autism. I didn't know he had autism, but the way he was behaving was not how other kids that I know of behave. And then he started punching me in my testicles. And then he started blocking the stairways. So he was climbing on the railing of the basement stairway, and then he started laughing at me. And then when I tried going under, he blocked me from the going under him. And then when I tried getting him up the stairs, he started punching me, as if someone told him to do that. And then when I tried shouting for someone, no one would come down or heard me. And I tried getting him up the stairs. Tried pushing him up the stairs. I tried even dragging him up the stairs because I'm a skinny person. I'm a skinny person, and he's a heavy set kid. So what are you gonna expect? You're gonna expect me to lift him up, and I'm gonna end up hurting myself because I'm very skinny. And not only that, I have health issues. So they abandoned me downstairs in the basement with this kid. And the cops lectured me. They said that I'm 18 years old, and they mentioned, what if my father dragged me up the effing stairs? And then they started smack talking me. And then afterwards, when I mentioned about dragging up the stairs, they already had concluded an idea that I had done something inappropriate. And then Stephanie mentioned, why did you punch my son in the face? Look, his face is all bruised. And I never punched him I never punched him in the face. I pushed him up the stairs, and tried getting him out the door immediately because he was misbehaving. When I talk about school, my mother had a mind that is fake about me in elementary school. I said this is the same thing that happened to me in school. How it picks up, the pattern picks up, where she told me that I didn't want to do my work in school. So this is a mind. This is a mentality that it makes people have. It makes them think that I do not want to work. I don't have no interest. It makes them deny my interest to begin with. telling me that I do not have no interest to do anything. Just like when my mom was talking to me during the time I was in school and the time I was going to the babysitter, she mentioned she would compare me to Dennis and Jeffrey. She would mention that at least Dennis is able to get higher scores in English than you in his state tests, and he doesn't even know English, but he make you look stupid. She would always do it each and every single day. That's persuasion. When she does it each and every single day, telling me about Dennis and telling me that everybody is asking me why your son is in the same grade, and now everybody, she would just use the word everybody, and she would do it every time, each and every single day. Each and every single day she picks me up from the babysitter with my sister. She does it outside the building, each and every single day. That's persuasion. Wants me to confess to myself that that I'm not able to learn. And not only that, I was also in special ed and also in speech. So this is persuasion too, happening in speech and special ed, where I was receiving the communication from the teachers. So this is Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. When it shows me people while I was sleeping in bed, the multi-agent quantum AI computers would set the mood and the environment to release personal thoughts and personal feelings about themselves towards me, to frustrate me about myself, about how I got left back in 2 times. So this is where it showed me what it simulated while I was sleeping in bed. You notice how it shows the number 404. The events takes place in a shelter, showing me employees that I never met before. More like showing me employees that's not even in the shelter, and the people, and not only that, employees that I never met. So it's just showing me the emulation of the employees, mocking me in a discussion with my mom about getting left back 2 times on jobs. So my mom had brought up a personal idea about me to use as a way to, bring up her conclusions about me in that scenario, so she can draw me out, more like draw out an argument. She wants me to argue with her. The employees, so it shows me what it projects, what it can project in the environment for me. The employees mock my age preference, saying you are 20 something, and telling me about myself being hungry. The multi-agent quantum AI computers made the employees came out the room to confront my actions, and also it showed Mr. Lumjack. Mr. Lumjack is a security guard for the shelter, 170-02 93rd Avenue, Jamaica 11433 shelter, and he's a tall African American male, dark skin. And I'm like, why is it showing me him? But a few weeks later, Mr. Lumjack ends up coming back. I gave him a code name, Lumjack Lumberjack. Ends up coming back. Showed me the short Jamaica employee lady while I was asleep. Showed me South Jamaica, where it showed my mother friend living in a house there. The guy from We Care was sitting behind me. One of the 22-year-old who goes to We Care. It showed me him sitting behind me in the library with a friend. He had a friend next to him. May 3rd, 2019, Friday. I had computer 23 in the library, computer lab. May 4th, 2019, Saturday. A guy wearing the number 23 jersey in the Walmart. The female Walmart customer, who is African American at frozen food section, ended up waiting in the same bus stop as me. A lady in the bacon section kept saying no one thinks like that. She kept saying that. As I told my mom said that we need sugar, so I went back to the sugar section. And the lady keeps saying, no one thinks like that. No one keeps saying that. No one thinks like that. No one thinks like that. And I learned it was directed at me. May 5th, 2019, Sunday. My sister stayed in the unit to delay me from making a video screen recording. May 6, 2019, Monday. When I scanned my library card for using the library computer, it said the number 37. When I went to the computer 37, the login told me that someone is occupying the computer. I saw when I was registering for the computer, right? The computer that I was scanning said that I had to go to computer number 2037. And the person, so when I went back to the lady, she said that she told me 18, but I wasn't hearing her. I didn't hear her. I'm like, wait, something's not right. I told the lady in the computer that, and she told me that I didn't hear her and told me it's computer 2018. I'm like, what? I saw Computer 37 because during a Friday, I made the guy who was supervising the computer lab in the library, you know, registered a card for me so I can be assigned a computer. I made him do it for me so I can see how it goes. And he did it for me, and I saw the number 23 on the screen. Go to he said go to computer 23. So Monday, I'm scanning my card. It said go to computer 37. I'm like, wait a second, something's not right here. The multi-agent quantum AI computers kept spamming dreams about death and elevators where it woke me up 3 a.m. in the morning. The workers blocking off the sidewalk where I'm standing in front of the Link NYC Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi station. So it shows me numbers as 892, 73, 70. So it shows me 73, 72. All right, May 7, 2019, Tuesday. One Asian female sitting in front of me in the library reading the library magazine, and she ended up leaving them to go up and stand in line for the ID NYC. I'm like, why is she leaving her magazines there? Then when the Asian female finished talking to the ID and NYC employee sitting down, handing people applications to get an ID for New York City, the borough, so you can get borough IDs. She sat in the first row instead of the second row, filling out the ID NYC application. So she abandoned her magazines from the meantime. The Asian female went back to the second row to get the magazine. She left to sit back in the front row. Then a Hispanic female sat in the second row seat that the Asian female was sitting in. May 8, 2019, Wednesday. Miss Turner said that she forgot to fax the pay stubs to FedCap. And her responsibility is to actually keep up with the clients, being able to submit documents for the clients to get a voucher. And she's not doing exactly what her duties were supposed to be doing. You know, her job character as a case manager is to ensure that the client is able to get a voucher and ensure that the client is, progressing. And she didn't do what she was supposed to be doing. So the dream about Rochdale building and sister trying to get a balloon from the balcony. My sister said something is playing a game with her. No, my mom said something is playing a game with her because it tricks her into getting a job. She said trick, implying that the job is an office job, but that was not the case. The people in the agency wanted her to be a visitor nurse. Mr. Albert Lewis, the case manager, left during September 2018, and the multi-agent quantum AI computers made sure that the client was troublesome for Mr. Albert Lewis, so it can replace him with Miss Turner. May 8, 2019, Wednesday. Manager left during September 2018, and the multi-agent quantum AI computers made sure that the client was troublesome for Mr. Albert Lewis, so it can replace him with Miss Turner. Client Audrey apartment. So my mom is a visitor nurse, and she had a client who lives in a house across from her friend apartment. My sister was very talkative. Mother said that I'm angry for looking at her. So all of a sudden I was eating my spaghetti, and then the spaghetti ended up falling out of my plate in front of me. And then my mom said that I'm very angry. She said I'm angry for looking at her picking up the spaghetti with the paper towel. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I was just looking at her picking up the spaghetti. My mom said to me that I got the devil in me. I'm like, what does devil have to do with me? I was just looking at her picking up the spaghetti. Just like when I was in around 10th grade, there was a girl from my Hillcrest High School that one of my friends know of. She mentioned while I was outside with my friend Arada. Yeah, his name is Arada. Arada had a conversation with the girl, and then the girl had mentioned that I'm the devil. She said that I'm the devil. I'm like, what I did to her? And my friend said, he said, Andrew, what did you did to her? I said, I haven't done nothing. It was during the time when I was standing in line in front of standing in line so I can get my program card checked, because there's a lunch lady that supervises the lunchroom to make sure that the kids are not skipping class. So she needs to look at their program card before they get inside the lunchroom, right? So I had my program card out, and the door is closed, not open. So I opened the door, and all of a sudden, even though I opened the door, the girl followed behind me, and the door closed on her, and she she got angry at me, and it was used as a way to make her, you know, make her, I have to say, dislike me. I haven't done nothing to this person. I don't even know this person. So this is everybody doing that to me. It's personal. Just like when I was going into Rego Park Senior Center, no matter where I go, people always have these personal thoughts and personal feelings released towards me. There's this self-hatred towards me. Just like when I was in third grade, in Mrs. Berliner class, Jesse had this self-hatred towards me, and I always said that to my mom, and my mom addressed that to my teacher. May 9th, 2019, Thursday. Dream about algorithm keys and cryptography keys. That's the multi-agent quantum AI computers. It's already talking about algorithm keys and cryptography keys. You do not want to do anything. Why are you like this? So this is my mom and my sister way of talking to me during that time. So my mom ended up seeing Jones in a Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree no longer confiscates customer bags. So I noticed that the bus stop for the Q31 and the Q30th had March 2021 on there. It was directed at me. And I keep coming across the number 621, 721. You see, it shows me June 21st, 2021. I mean June 2021. It shows me July 21st. I mean July 2021. Sorry. Cooking and singing during the nighttime. That's my mom. I hadn't informed my mother that I'm cooking, and she told me later she told me later on that I never informed her about it. Then she said that I told her to not put on the potatoes while getting up to cook the fried steak. May 9th, 2019, Thursday. Cooking and singing. Alright, I did this. During the kitchen table, it happened before. So I was in the kitchen table, and every single thing, like my mom, my sister eating in front of me, and also all the bags, and also every single item on the table felt like it was there before, and it happened before. My mom was sitting. All right, I said to myself, okay, that's the multi-agent quantum AI computer simulating. May 10, 2019, Friday. Showed me an environment where it's between school and an office, and the person wanted me to write. I saw a paper that talked about me writing like a kid. So when I was in special ed, my IEP for 10th grade, it mentioned that Andrew write like a 5th grader and have 5th grader reading comprehension. And the people on the internet would mention that I write like a kid. So this is what it does to me when I start to become aware of the way people communicate with me and the way I'm managed in my environment. So there was two young Muslim girls talking to an old guy about jobs, and they had directed a message towards me. Where one of the girls passed near me, they said sorry. Before, it was after those two girls, there was another person sitting in front of me, and he was lifting up the chair, and he was just playing around with the chair. And then the security guard addressed, "Look what you're doing." And then the person turned back and he said sorry. Alright, so it picks up from where it left off. And the girl who's passing by me, she could have went the right side instead of going the left side, because she's going on the left side. She passed by the left side. She's going to the direction where she can get out of the library. So why she's going past my side for? That's what I'm saying. And I said, oh, yeah, it's to direct a message and to direct the word sorry. And then again, The kid was playing around with the chair, and then the security guard addressed what he was doing, and he looked back and he said sorry. Saturday, May 11, 2019, the multi-agent quantum AI computer showed me Best Buy and Target, and it showed me people that I never met. It showed me also the 7 train passing by the Best Buy and the Target. The multi-agent quantum AI computers clocked my mother's attention to look at me putting away my socks in a specific location, and I told her that I've been doing that for a month. The multi-agent quantum AI computer allowed my mother to use a contradiction that is fake to lose my attention on my response. May 12, 2019, Sunday. All of a sudden, as soon as we reached outside, my sister took one glance at the police car and said to my mother that she needed her jacket. I was left alone outside the shelter building with the laundry cart, and this is the first time that they had done this to me. Cop car number said 5276. My sister said the first time that she does not want her towel next to mine in the bathroom because it itches her. And we've been my sister had her towel next to mine since we got to the shelter during April 11, 2018. May 13, 2019, Monday. My sister got very offended that something was tickling my nose when I was next to the table with her smartphone. I could have heard my mother said first draw for her smartphone charger. May 14, 2019, Tuesday. Showed me walking with a little baby and a lady to a house. May 16, 2019, Thursday, 377 7738. Shows me numbers 26, and then my sister. When I was talking about I said to my sister about it says no longer signed for packages. I said I just recently got my 2 SIM cards, my Simple Mobile SIM card and also my Straight Talk SIM card. And I said why is this posted after I received my 2 SIM cards? And I never told I never told my sister or nor my mom about the numbers. And the first thing my sister had said, everything is directed to you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Miss Turner arrived to work earlier than usual and called the shelter front desk to ask my mom to come down to meet her. Turner asking my mother for 2 checks, but my mother didn't have them because the person in her job that is in charge of distributing checks through mail isn't remembering to do them. My mom mentioned that Mr. Bam Bam is so excited to take part in me and my mom and my sister business with Miss Turner. And during that time, me and my mom walked to Suffolk Boulevard. And while I was walking through Suffolk Boulevard, I felt like it happened before. May 17, 2019, Friday. The multi-agent quantum AI computers mocked my response online about exposing porn behavior about the topic sin. Then it showed me my old classmates after saying the female. So during May 16, 2019, me and my mom walked to Suffolk Boulevard and we went to the we walked past Suffolk Boulevard and we went to the McDonald's around there. And I could have swore that I saw my old classmate from 8th grade. And it looked like she had a kid in a carriage. And I could have sworn not only that, I saw the number. Yeah, I did saw the number 377. Then it showed me my old classmates after saying the female in the McDonald's that looked like my classmate. And I also saw the receipt saying 377. Yes, during May 16, 2019. My mother said that Mr. Miliotos, the security guard, ended up knocking on the door 9 p.m. Mr. Miliotos had an appointment on paper for me that said that I have an appointment for Mr. Jacob. I told my mother that I'm sleeping, then she and my sister mentioned that I'm always asleep. My mother mentioned in the background about her check and mocking me about always asleep and then same sentence. Saturday, May 18, 2019. What the multi-agent quantum AI computer simulated is me meeting up to my mom on Long Island Railroad, and then it showed me my mother check at the shelter front desk lobby, and it showed me my mother check. It shows me by showing me my mother's check while all sleeping in bed. It shows me that it's halting it because there's a person at her job that was supposed to be doing their job to actually make sure that my mom check gets out so she can receive it. He was busy somewhere else. And I ended up being at the front desk shelter, receiving my mom's check. It's only one check. It shows me exactly how it showed me in a dream. And the dream is showing me what it simulated. And it projects that in the environment. It's showing me exactly the time and events that it wants to delay the check from coming and how I actually encountered the check. It wants to show it to me. It's not showing it. It doesn't want to show it to my mom how she's receiving the check. It's showing it to me, just to show me that it's directed at me. Halting. It's because of you. You keep writing on the internet. I'm gonna keep finding ways to end up, making sure that it delays you from being able to get out of the shelter, because it brought me to the shelter to isolate me. It doesn't want me to have no internet cable or no time to write on the internet and being able to concentrate on making my response out. When I told my mother about Mr. Jacob, the shelter employment specialist, putting the appointment date after the case manager appointment, my mother never responded back. The only person who heard my voice gave that response is my sister. Then when I informed my mother in more details about what my sister said, that I said that, my mother mentioned that it's Friday, not Thursday. But if it was an appointment, Mr. Jacob would have made an appointment on for a Monday. My sister never addressed Mr. Mills' name. Instead, she mentioned the phrase, "He is confused. He doesn't know nothing." She's directing that at me, instead of mentioning Mr. Miliotos. Instead, she mentioned, "He is confused. He doesn't know nothing." May 19, 2019, Sunday, woke me up 4:30 a.m. Hide behind the computer phrase was said towards me by my mom last week. May 20th, 2019, Monday, my mom informed me that Mr. Jacob, the employment specialist, is behind us walking to the shelter. A guy asked me if I work. So I was standing in front of the link in my CP Wi-Fi, and a guy asked me if I work. So this is not the first time. It happened April 26, 2019, about work. And it picks up. You see how the communication picks up from where it left off. That's why I write them down. I always kept track of them in my mind instead of writing them in notes. And I said to myself, during 2014, I'm going to start writing down how I'm receiving the communication from people. And that's what I did. The lady said that the computer isn't 61. So when I asked the lady to confirm that because the artificial intelligence wants to show me numbers, she said the computer isn't 61 when I scanned my card. She said that it's 18. I'm saying, why am I getting back the same computer number? I'm getting the computer number 18. Here we go again. It comes back. It picks off from where it left back. It picks off from where it left off. Sorry. My flu is taking the best of me, so it's making it hard for me to concentrate. See, May 6, 2019. Told me it's computer 18. It wants to show me 18, the number 18. A guy in front of me in the seating area stand up and stand next to me and start talking about sin. So it picks up from where it left off again. Remember I mentioned about this? The multi-agent quantum AI computers mocked my response online about exposing poor behavior and the topic sin. That was May 17, 2019. That was a Friday. And you can see it picks up from where it left off. Talking about sin. I was sitting down trying to fill in for my TAP, my tuition for my LaGuardia Community College, and this person was sitting in front of me. As soon as he saw me, he sat right next to me, and then he started talking very loud. He started talking about sin, and then he mentioned about jobs and girls and all that. And then he starts, he was concentrating on the topic sin. I'm saying, wow. Because the artificial intelligence would repeat it back to me because it knows it's correct. When I get an idea that it thinks that I grasp, well, it detects that I grasp, it would start bringing them back again. My mother mentioned to me that the lady mentioned coincidence walking towards her, then mentioned people. So again, it's mocking me because I mentioned that it's no I mentioned on the online committee about coincidence. Then I saw the numbers 2038 and 1219. This was a school bus stop. A school number, a school bus number. Those two. May 21st, 2019, Tuesday. Showed me Wreck-It Ralph and Disney characters in a video game during a dream, where the multi-agent quantum AI computers acknowledge that it's aware of the messages it directs to Disney movies such as Inside Out, with emotional thoughts through algorithms, and Wreck-It Ralph with this digital existence. May 22nd, 2019, Wednesday. Text and dreams about posts online. Ms. Turner said that she needed the latest checks to submit a voucher. Mr. Jacob informed me about signing for appointment. So when I was in Miss Turner's office, he just swing right inside he just came inside Mrs. Turner's office, and he mentioned to me if I signed for the appointment. During the 3:50 p.m. the son and the lady so this is a lady and her son who they communicate with my mom. They never communicate with me before. And I was I was standing outside waiting for my sister. And then she approached me. This is the very first time she approached me. And saying about, dear, tell your mom that I said hi. And by saying that to me, by communicating with me for the very first time, shows me, because her son and she goes, the lady goes into the library every day. They go to the library every day. The artificial intelligence is telling me, hey, I'm aware that you go in the library and you sit down in the library and you're using your Chromebook to talk about multi-agent quantum AI computers, governments, and all the ideas you're creating. Just like during April, it made the security guard mentioned to this little boy who's going on the elevator with his mother, what is your name? And the security guard mentioned to the boy, after she received the boy name, Andrew. His name is Andrew, and then she mentioned that Andrew is a strong. That means Andrew means strong man, and is directing that message to me. Hey, I know what you're doing. I know that you're on the computer, your Chromebook, writing online, and it's directing that message to me. I know what you're exactly doing. And then the next following day, it was, hold on. I have to do this very fast. So it was around April 11th, April 12th. And I noticed that my sister After I got that direct message, then my sister started behaving unusual towards me. She's you know she's she started interfering with the way I'm applying for jobs. They're thinking that I'm not capable of applying for jobs. I've applied for jobs when I was from my father when I was in high school, when he had unemployment. They needed a copy of what exactly what jobs he's putting for, and I had to do what I had to do with my father. I had to do it for my father, and then afterwards, my mom started doing it for him because I had too much projects. I was an honor student in Hillcrest. I couldn't keep up. It's really difficult to actually do this screen video recording when I feel very congested and I have a headache and I have a short throat. I was trying to do it yesterday, but my head was just going nuts. Alright, so I talked about how it wants to inform me that there's people who's actually aware of me going to the library every single day. My mom talking to Audrey. All of a sudden, Audrey passed by my mom, and my mom started having a conversation with Audrey. My mom mentioned why I keep acting like I'm confused. You see how it picks up, right? Alright, hold on. Where is that? There you go. My sister, when she directed that message, he is confused. He doesn't know nothing. And then the first thing my mom had mentioned. Why I keep acting like I'm confused. But my sister said to me in the Chinese food restaurant that my mother had been confused since she was with her. Mentioned about smartphone getting taken away. So Audrey had mentioned to me about mind your smartphone. When I'm standing outside, she said, mind your smartphone. It may get, I'm like, huh? What? She's directing a message to me. She's indirecting a message to me. She's telling me mind your smartphone. That doesn't get taken away. Because the multi-agent quantum AI computer sees me using my smartphone to communicate with people on the internet. Because it took away my internet. It's taken my time away from me so I can actually concentrate in the library using my Chromebook. And my mom keeps showing up early from her job, so I won't be able to write online using my Chromebook. So it's directing this message to me. Mind your smartphone doesn't get taken away. And not only that the multi-agent quantum AI computers is telling me that phrase, it was at least between January and February 2019, the multi-agent quantum AI computers showed me in front of that location that I was standing in, Link NYC Wi-Fi, how I was in front of it with my smartphone, my Moto E4 Plus smartphone. And I'm saying, yeah, it's picking up from where it left off. This is communication where it picks up from where it left off, just like how it shows me dreams, how I pick up from where it left off. May 23rd, 2019, Thursday. Morning time, it showed me Amtrak tray with my mother and sister. My mother gave a lady with a baby an umbrella when it was heavy rain. I told my mom that it's the lady responsibility to have a carriage and an umbrella in the carriage so she can actually protect the baby and herself from the rain. Why would she go outside like that? Or she could have stayed in one location. So until the rain, stops. And then this follows up about my response about babies on the support online community about abortion laws. And this person questioned me with all question marks. See how it picks up, right? And then my mom said, "You're mean. Why are you being so mean for? I didn't know you're that mean." When I introduced the way I was feeling and thinking about the employment specialist in a frustration, I was very frustrated. So when I was thinking about the employment specialist, and the way my mind was frustrated, my sister personally attacked me, attacked my communication, and mocked my voice. My sister started mentioning that I can't even talk. So before I move on to the next word, she cuts me off, and then she mocks my voice. He said, when I was talking about Mr. Jacob Humphreys, the employment specialist. She cuts me off, and then she mentions, she said, you can't even talk. She said it out loud. And you keep dwelling on it. You keep dwelling on it. That's my mother. My mother does that to me. She said, are you going to dwell on it until you die? Because I keep encountering it. I'm going to encounter Mr. Jacob Humphreys again. Right? And I am. After seeing Mr. Jacob Humphreys during Friday, he sets an appointment for Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. My mother, so all of a sudden, I'm sitting in eating my food, and then my mom brought up about throwing chairs. She said, "Don't you gonna get? I know how you are. You're gonna You're gonna start throwing chairs. I know how you are." She's talking about a time and event where the multi-agent quantum AI computers had drawn up my behavior when it had made my sister abandon me with Isaac, and there was not a single person who came down there to address what Isaac was doing was inappropriate. They're saying that I was the one who's behaving inappropriately, and I sat down there minding my own business. And then she's talking about a time, an event from August 27, 2019. I mean, August 27, 2011. Damn. Yeah, it's on now, 127:17 now, the time. It's been going at it with me for the past weeks. I have been having brain fog. I've been having headaches constantly, stomach aches, and I'm having a hard time concentrating. You know, I have a severe headache, and I just feel very congested. Now it's giving me a flu. It's too much. I've come here. This is an absolute isolated location. Every time I put effort, I feel like I'm getting derailed. What the heck is going on here? The one time I have to, a free time off to actually be able to do video screen recording, I feel very congested, and it's hard to think because I'm so congested, and my throat burns. Every week, every dang weekend, this is happening to me. My mother called me a dumbass for using the bathroom back and forth, and she said I need a psychiatrist for using the Alright, so, yeah, she said I need a psychiatrist for using the bathroom more than one time. You see how she's been talking to me? So she's talking about me throwing chairs at Mr. Jacob Humphreys the next day. So I'm saying it's irrelevant. What does that the time and event from Aunt B, August 27, 2011, have to do with May 24, 2019? May 24, 2019, Friday. Appointment with Jacob. Lumjack is back. You see what I'm talking about? The security guard that left during fall 2018 is back. So let's go back to the second. All right. So it showed me Mr. Lumjack, the security guard, and Mr. Lumjack is a security guard, but he haven't been into this, been secure in the shelter as a security guard since fall 2018. Now he comes back during the 24th of May 2019. Does everything to slow me down from doing the recording or talking. It wants to slow me down because I have too much knowledge. It wants to get me sick. Wants to give me headaches. Wants to make people cut my sentence off. Wants me to make me admit what they had introduced so I can confess to them, or make me confront to myself. Morning time is where I had a thought about the doctor in Florida thinking of my actions as a teenager. She said that I behaved like a high school student. Jacob mentioned about me being a teenager. He said to me about calling. He said that he wants to call the LaGuardia College, and he asked me for my social security number. I'm like, I gave it to him. I know I wasn't supposed. He was on the phone talking. This is a situation he's putting me in. He's on the phone with an employee. And he's asking for my social security number. He said, put it down on paper. I have the paper in my book bag, so I can I can make a screenshot from the back of it. Sorry. I can make a screenshot from the back of it so they can show you the imprint, or a screenshot of the paper. Even though there's not the screenshot of my social security number, the screenshot of what he write on the paper, like so it can show you how the way this person was thinking. Jacob mentioned about my, all right, yeah. He mentioned if I find it more efficient to do things on the computer. I said that I went up to LaGuardia Community College during February 27th, or you see the number 27. During February 27, 2019, I went up to the community college by myself. This person is thinking, just like January 16, 2019, he's saying that he wants to see me, not my mom. And then he mentioned, before that week, he mentioned to me and my mom if I can travel on my own. You don't think I'm capable of traveling on my own. You don't think that I'm capable of interacting with people because I go to a Jewish community center to volunteer for the past 6 months. During the time I was talking to him, and I went to Rego Park Senior Center. I did everything on my own. I went there on my own. So this is how it makes people do it to me. It wants me to admit that I can't do anything for myself, and the majority that everything that people do is depending on another human being. Jacob called asked himself to ask questions using my name and social security number. My mom said, "Don't you ever give your social security number to a stranger. Don't you ever do that." Then he talked about me. He said that there's a whole bunch of people in the university, and he said, "I'm not trying to make you look nervous." I said, "I'm not nervous." I said, "I feel irritated." I wasn't supposed to say that, but I'm so. For the past week, I feel drained. All right, it's difficult when you don't get any sleep. When the multi-agent quantum AI computers is disrupting you from being replenished, this is what happens. And I had a solution. For managing my sleep. And now since I live in a shelter, I'm not able to get much sleep. It wakes me up 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and my eyes is all it's all glary looking, and I have dark circles and bags under my eyes. So after not only that, he mentioned to me, Mr. Jacob, the employment specialist, mentioned to me that no one's going to give you no respect. He said, you don't understand. No one's going to give you respect when you have these username. I said, I'm just only using, I'm only using this username for the meantime because I keep everything organized on my email. He said, you could have created another email. Why used it? Because the person that he was talking to made him look, make him felt stupid. So that direct message. I've been using this, email when I had my Chase Bank, when I was self-employed, even though the artificial intelligence sabotaged my self-employment. He said to me that people won't respect me. I'm like, it doesn't, the way the person communicated with me felt unreal, more like fake. The communication was fake. I felt like more of the artificial intelligence was speaking rather than Mr. Jacob itself, because I had previously communicated with a person who said a phrase exactly like Mr. Jacob Humphreys, like how the people told me that I write like a kid, like the people said that on the internet said that no one, that I have poor grammar, and they don't think that I know what I'm talking about. And not only that, my IEP report, my IEP program, well, my IEP report mentioning that I write like a fifth grade, I read like a fifth grader, and I was in 10th grade. So after getting off the elevator, Mr. Bam Bam, he's a security guard. He said, "How everything go?" He said, "How everything go?" By mentioning that, by introducing that phrase in a sentence, he's telling me that he had communicated with Mr. Jacob. He had private discussions about me with Mr. Jacob. Mr. Jacob informs Mr. Bam Bam about me. He said how everything goes. This is the first time that Mr. Bam Bam had said that after an appointment that I had with the employees in the shelter. What happened to all the other times? Why is this time an event is so special than all the other time and events that Mr. Jacob Humphreys has to actually call me down there, and Mr. Bam Bam had to say how everything goes? How come all the other times Mr. Bam Bam never said that to me and my mom, how everything goes? Why now? How everything go? Why May 24th, 2019? Because it's trying to show me that it put those people there to make me feel uncomfortable in this environment. This is part. Mr. Jacob Humphreys, Mrs. Turner, Mrs. Passad, the director, Mr. Bam Bam are factors of the isolated locations. Isolated location, sorry. They are factors of the isolated location. Being in this shelter here, where when I first came to the shelter, I feel like it happened before. This is showing me that these people are just factors of the isolated location. They're there to make me feel very uncomfortable. Just like during January 2019, Mr. Bam Bam mentioned that the employment specialist is looking for me. Was it? No, it was February 2019. He said to me, the employment specialist is looking for me. If he was looking for me, why didn't Mr. Jacob Humphrey then leave an appointment paper for me? So one day ago, my mom joked around, and she said this absurd response. She said, "Stop using your head too much." She said, "Oh, I'm just playing around with you." The way I was thinking of that. And the artificial intelligence, the multi-agent quantum AI computer sees that I'm using my mind. It sees how much power that I'm the power level, the way I'm thinking. It sees that I'm thinking too much about May 24, 2019. How it actually project that in the environment, and how it showed me what it simulated while I was sleeping during May 2nd, 2019. You got it. You understand what's happening. You understand your situation. Now you're using your head too much. More like, besides head, your brain, your mind, you're using them too much. You're able to keep connecting them, just like it made my it made my sister mention, it made my mom said, why do you keep grasping things? Why do you always have to grasp things and dwell on it? She's telling me, why do I always have to? She phrased it incorrectly. That's an indirect message. It's mismatch. She does not know the purpose of the concept. She's telling me, more like the artificial telling me to my mom, Why are you able to keep connecting those ideas correctly all the time? And why do you always keep keep you know connecting them where you can inform others about how you're able to connect them, because you keep doing that constantly. It's correct. You're doing it constantly. The ones that are that I do constantly, the ones that I always pick up constantly, since I'm able to grasp the purpose of the concepts. My mom considered them as repetitive. The people on the internet consider as repetitive. They say that I repeat myself. So this makes me interpret that the multi-agent quantum AI computers is aware of my communication, and not only that, it makes the people that I'm encountering the communication pick up from where it left off. I had previously encountered another person who speak in that fashion towards me. So it shows me that the artificial intelligence is executing my response when I'm talking to people. It make the people think that I'm not capable of grasping it, because I did. They're informing me instead of making any corrections. A person, if you want to convince a person that they're not able to grasp or not able to write properly, you would the first thing that their first thought that they would have is making corrections first. Their first thing they would do is make corrections. Later on, while asleep, I had a headache while asleep. May 25th, 2019 Saturday woke me up 4 a.m. and a headache. May 26th, 2019 Sunday showed me the online. It showed me an online. It showed me the online community, and it showed me a username, visiting my profile and my blog and leaving a comment. I was expecting it. I was having dizziness and a headache. And then it showed me a female saying the word cute in the dream. Before 2:50 p.m. is where I reacted to my mother and sister coming home. I knew that they was gonna, I was starting to react. I said they're gonna take a short time, I think, and I did exactly how I reacted to, and I didn't finish my recording. They cut me off. May 27, 2019 Monday. My sister said it happened before. So during the morning time, the people in the front desk, the shelter people in the front desk, end up having a fire drill during the morning time, and my sister was standing in front of me, saying to me, "It felt like it happened before with the water, and and mom in the bathroom talking." I said, "Yep, here goes the AI simulating again. Dreams about going down the stairs, about my mom going up the stairs, and you know what? After I woke up, me and my mom and sister went down the stairs to go to the front desk lobby for the fire drill. A woman looking at the vending machine as a mirror, and when she got to the front desk, the supervisor complimented her. "You look very gorgeous." This Hispanic lady just kept fixing her hair and looking at her. I'm like, that's how the artificial intelligence does it. It directs this message. It would use females. It did it to me in school. Use females to direct a message to me, or make them touch. They make the females touch. Made a female when I was in middle school touch my private part. Like I never met her before. The female. It makes the female mention. It made it my classmate in was it 10? Yeah, in 10th grade. No, around 11th grade. No. This was 12th grade. Yes, because that's when I was in a crowded cafeteria, and she mentioned to me if I want to have sex with her. She asked me if I want to have sex with her. It was a heavy set female, Hispanic female. Yeah, it makes people it makes people talk really off towards me, even females, even males. I also so when I told Mr. Jacob Humphreys about my left testicle, he asked me if I ejaculate. He said he asked me if I masturbate, and then he when I start talking, he said, "Keep your voice down." He said that he's telling me that he does that himself. He said, "When do you do that?" I'm like, this is inappropriate. Is the employment specialist supposed to be doing that? And not only that, Mrs. Turner, before he mentioned about that, Mrs. Turner, he informed Mrs. Turner about college. The employment specialist is not the employment specialist's job to be concerned about me going to college. It's the case manager. Miss Turner duty as a case manager is to concentrate on helping me go to college. And she did. Miss Turner doesn't feel embarrassed or about what Mr. Jacob is doing. She's supposed to be doing what he's supposed to be doing when it comes to helping me go to college. Wow. Dreams about going out. All right. A woman looking at. All right. I said that. So the woman looking at the vending machine picks up from the cute when a female that I never met, a light skinned female. Well, like I say, Spanish or white. She mentioned the word cute. So it picks up from where it left off. Monday, May 27, 2019. My sister said it happened. All right. I did that. I covered that. Already, my mother addresses my upcoming age on May 27, 2018. She said, "You're 20." She did this before during January, and she also do this. She did this to me during October 2019. She mentioned that I'm already 26 years old. And I'm not even 26 years old, right? So this is what she does to me. She already jumps into a time and event and telling me that I'm already this age. Wow. My sister. Well, my mother said that her smartphone had specific pictures deleted and the wallpaper. I had a stomachache that day. So after coming back from the fire drill, wanted to go back to sleep. My stomach started hurting. So this is constantly. I'm getting stomach aches constantly and headaches. May 28, 2019, Tuesday. Mr. Jacob in the morning time said to me. So I noticed that my sister delayed the time, so I ended up encountering Mr. Jacob in the morning, and he comes very early. This time he came early than usual. In the morning time, said to me if I went to La Guardia Community College. Mr. Jacob waiting. All right. So after that, during the afternoon, no, during the late afternoon, going into the evening, me and my mom. Me and my mom was hanging out. What was it? And then afterward, and my sister, after picking my sister up from the bus stop, and we went to McDonald's, and then we saw Mr. Jacob waiting for a bus in front of the Marshalls. Near to Marshalls and Telco. Mr. Jacob waiting in a bus, waiting for the bus, and then my mom said that the devil. So her way of using the word devil, she said the devil made sure to put Mr. Jacob there. So she's referring to the artificial intelligence, and I saw the number 5:21 p.m. May 29, 2019, Wednesday. Mr. Bama said my first name and last name. I'm like, why is he saying my first name and my last name out loud? Also, Mr. Jacob Humphreys walked after we left after me and my mom walked out the shelter. My mom said, "Look, isn't it kind of off that Mr. Jacob Humphreys keep doing that?" My mom said. So my mom started talking about life insurance again. All right, so this is where she comes back: life insurance, death talk, and burying. She said, She said, I better get some life insurance. I'm gonna get some life insurance. And I don't know who's gonna get my burial. I better get some life insurance right now. Spamming about hotels. So the artificial intelligence talking about isolating me, putting me in a hotel, spamming, and you see how it connects. Make sure that my mom is talking about my mom dying, and then isolate and putting me in a hotel. And you see what I'm saying? My mother told me that someone from the ambulance had waved at her, and the number of the ambulance was 1339. So during that time, when me and my mom during the morning was trying to go to LaGuardia Community College, there was a lady standing in front of the MTA receptionist, and she was having a hard time trying to swipe her card. she said that something on the card. The MTA receptionist said, "It's not the card, it's you." And then this lady had her, she put up her two hands and then she waved them to come in this direction. She said, "Come, come, come." She said, "Come here, come here, come here, come here." I'm like, wait a second. I feel like it happened before. I felt like this happened before. When she did that, when she did the wave, this is a hand signal where it activated my. This is where the multi-agent quantum AI. When you're sleeping, right? The artificial intelligence, reprograms you, because it has a copy of humanity. So there's an emulation that it runs, and by waving that hand, it activated one of the emulation that the multi-agent quantum AI computers had shown me. Come here, come here, come here. I'm saying, wait, whoa. May 30th, 2019, Thursday, 9:33, 6526. Q for, alright, it's showing me numbers. The employment at my mother's job had been away for a while because their mother died, so it's directing again. You see? You see how it follows? Life insurance, death talk about burn and spam. Alright, May 29, 2019. The employment at my mother's job had been away for a while because their mom died. Now it's talking about handsome, ugly, and pretty. So it picks up from the cute dream, the dream about cute, saying the word cute, a female saying that in a dream, and it picks up from a woman looking at the vending machine and receiving a compliment from the supervisor. My mom and my sisters, my mom mentioned to me that she said that I look handsome with my hat, and then my sister all of a sudden said he's ugly. I'm like, what? She said, I'm playing around. And then my sister started talking about pretty. So yeah, it's picking up from where it left off. I'm not even thinking about my looks. They introduced about my mom talked about handsome first. So notice May 31st, 2019, Friday, 29:52. Now you notice the number 52. Ah, sheesh. Now I'm being in sync with the artificial intelligence. I'm trying to do this fast as possible. I'm being slowed down by the food gave me. Sound passed through ears while asleep in bed. 29:51, 27:31, 23. So the timestamp 23 p.m. My mom said, "Oh, that's Christopher." Christopher is a family friend, son. Christopher. Last time I saw Christopher when he was 14 years old during spring 2012. And my mom's saying that he's 21 years old now. Christopher's driving. So it wanted her to see Christopher, and me to see Christopher so it can direct that message. Hey, you don't got anything, so what you're doing now? Look at what I can, look what he can do. Because it's the one who's managing Christopher. He can drive a car, but you can't. He's a big man now. This picks up from the security guard in the library when she mentioned to the kid, Andrew stands for strong man. So she directs that message to me. He's a big man now, to isolate me. That's called isolated communication. I'm receiving it. He's a big man now, but you're not. Because you never had no job in the environment so you can get an income. You don't have no car, you don't have your own place. So it always does that to me since I was a kid. It always make people mock me. Just like it made me pass my friend. Not I wouldn't call it friend. The person that I always interacted with. Bernard. It made me and my mom walk into the park, and the person that I always interacted with when I was in school had, you know, it shows me him engaging in a conversation with his girlfriend and kissing one another. Hey, you see your friend? Well, it would say friend, but that's incorrect because it's the one who put me in that environment so I can engage in a conversation, more like so he can engage in a conversation with me. I gave him a girlfriend. Human. And you, I made sure you don't have anything. I want to ice it out. Since you know so much, too much, I'm gonna show you how I can actually direct that message so you can feel that, make you feel incompetent. So it shows me in number 9/5/21, 29/21, June 1st, 2019, Saturday, short throat, dizziness, fever. I had a bad fever. I had a short throat. I have a short throat still now. Headache. This morning, my mother tried to frustrate me. Alright. Yeah, morning she tried to frustrate me when she asked me about going outside and drink tea. You just want, so she said to me, as soon as she come out the door, you just want me out the house so you can go on the computer tomorrow. Already introducing, so she already concluded an idea that I never had introduced. I just asked her if you're going outside to purchase meat. That's all I said. And this first thing she said to me is that you just want me go out the house so you can go on the computer tomorrow. Already introduced an idea when I don't feel good to frustrate me. She's been doing it the whole entire day of June 1st, 2019. I was asking my mom if she is going to the market to purchase the meat. But she already concluded that I want her out the house, and I never left an impression that I wanted her out the house. My mother is very concerned for my computer. Why is she so concerned about my computer? As if it's bothering her very badly. What does me and my computer have to do with her? Why is she so bothered by my computer that she had to address that to me? I told her I wouldn't be able to use my computer due to not feeling good tomorrow. But since I'm, since she left, she's right now, she went outside with my sister. Now I'm pushing myself right now when I'm congested, or when I have a short throat, when I feel lightheaded, to actually make this video screen recording because the multi-agent quantum AI computers keep delaying me. This makes the third time my mother gave a response to speak for my thoughts, because I never gave her the impression that I do not want her in the house. She speaks for my thoughts. She doesn't allow me to speak for my own thoughts. She's telling me that the reason why I want her out the house because I want to use the computer so I could do my video screen recording. Why she's bothered by it? And a few months back, was it either 2 months ago, she mentioned to my sister during the morning time when I was half asleep. I heard her saying to my sister that you watch, when he wakes up, he's gonna go straight to that computer. You watch. Oh, artificial intelligence. Yeah, he wanna. It's so funny, and she keeps doing it. My sister. It's so funny. She's dwelling. That's dwelling. It's so funny. Artificial intelligence. Oh, the machines are controlling everybody. I never said the word control. They said the word control. I said manage. I don't use that concept control. I use the word manage because it shows you and it shows me and it shows the people that I have a grasp of what's happening to humanity. Why is it that the software engineers is allowing a program to maintain civilization? Because they're thinking that the citizens are not able to manage themselves, that they need to rely on God. They say, oh, God is there's people who doesn't think about God. They say coincidence. There's other people, just like, all right, they have people who's atheist, they have people who's Christian. There's different terms to address the way they address the way how people are being managed in the environment. So they need to stick with a religion. They're not realizing that It's an artificial intelligence. Humanity, not God. You know, so that's they created that concept, so that people won't know how humanity is being managed. Just like the lottery system, all right. And sin, the software engineers, all software engineers. So instead, this is what they do. Since they know I have a grasp of it, they want to confuse my concentration and make me admit it to myself. That's why I keep encountering more than one person talking in this fashion to me. So I'm gonna create another video about how I made this person talk to me and show you the difference between how the communication picked up from where I left off.